Welcome to today's video. I'm Mike and I'm the English Nomad, and you're joining me as I continue my build of my Fiat Ducato Camper. And as you can probably see behind me, I've made some progress in building the wall units. Now the wall units run and I'll show you in a minute, run the full length of the van on one side. And in order to do that, what I did is I made a template. This was the template I used. So this is this face here, and obviously this matches the profile of the wall. So what I did is I made the template for this end, and then mirrored the template on that end, checked it, and they were both the same. And then I was able then to work out the dimensions of these frames here going along using this template, and built up the framework. So I've got some short video footage I'm going to insert here of me making this frame. And so let's have a look at the units, and we can pick this up with other parts of the project shortly. So whenever you start with a fresh piece of timber, I always like to trim the end off and make sure it's nice and clean and square. So as you can see, this is the end, the driver's end of the vehicle. So this is the cab, and you can see the cupboards, and as you can see, they run the full length of the vehicle. They're currently unpainted, so that's the next job. I need to paint them, and I need to make the doors. The doors will be hinged upwards with locking latches, which I've still got to procure. So let's just step outside the vehicle and look from the outside in. And there, as you can see, So they're fixed to the ceiling through the battens that I attached to the ribs. So they've got good long screws going through, very secure, and fixed to the side as well. Very, they're not going anywhere, they're very strong, they're very secure in the place. I've also added some additional cleats using, and I use my pocket jig cutter for screwing into the side panel there, both ends. And then what I've also done is I've had some additional braces to stiffen the framework up. The plywood boards that I've put underneath, they've been glued in place with Gorilla Wood glue on all of the seams and then screwed in place. So the plan is to fill all the screw heads before I paint them. They're just going to get painted white, and then I'm going to put possibly white or grey doors on them. Whatever I decide to do in terms of the colour scheme will match the unit that I'm building down here for the kitchen. So that's basically the progress I've made up to now. A few other little bits and bobs I've done. I've installed the water tank. I've still got to start doing the plumbing, but the water tank's there. I've decided to put the filler inside there, and the reason for that is I didn't want to drill another hole in the bodywork. I'm trying to keep this as stealthy as possible, so the fewer items that are attached to the outside of the van the better, because it keeps that sort of stealthy look. I'll just move my other camera out of the way and I'll show you what's going on down here. So I've built this this bulkhead wall. That again will get painted white, but I've started attaching the controls for my Truma. This is the remote for my inverter, so this allows me to switch the inverter on. My Victron monitor, light switches and some USB sockets there, and my remote for the Max Air fan. So what's going here in this space here in front of the doorway, and it's probably going to take up most of that opening, is going to be my fridge freezer. I'm going with a chest fridge freezer, and the reason for that is I get more storage space in a more efficient package form factor wise. So conventional fridges, every time you open the door the cold air just spills out, and then obviously you've got to use power then to cool the fridge back down to temperature, and in warm weather that is a particular problem. If you're going in and out of the fridge, you know, if you're having a nice evening with a few beers and you keep going to the fridge and pulling a beer out, every time you open the fridge all that cold air that's in there just spills out. So with a chest fridge freezer, all of the cold air sits in there, so you don't have that same issue. So they tend to use less power, and that's why they're very, very popular in hot climates for that reason. You do need to organise them a little bit better, but apart from that, I personally prefer them for efficiency. When you're running off 12 volt consistently, you're not using, I won't be using mains power very often. So I want to be able to run the fridge as efficiently as possible. So that's what's going there. And then on this side, as I've already discussed, will be the kitchen units. That's why I've left this space here open. This space is left open so that the Truma heater can breathe, because it needs to suck air in to then heat it and then push that heated air out. So I've decided to leave that open. Obviously you'll not see that open space because the cupboard fronts will be across this here. I might put a panel across here yet. I haven't decided, but at this stage it's going to allow me to access the plumbing, the electrical wiring from inside the garage as well. And then there'll be a false panel in here. There'll be a false panel that hides all this and seals it off, so that I've still got to put my gas vent in here, the drop vent, which you have to do when you install gas appliances. And as the cooktop is probably going to be directly over the top, I'll probably put 2 drop vents in, one for the truma and one closer to the back, and have a channel for any gas that escapes from the cooktop to drop down into the back of there and go through the drop vent in the floor. The sink will be roughly here in the middle, about here, and then this space here will just be countertop. There'll be drawers and a cupboard in there as well for storage. So it's coming along, it's getting very close. There's a lot of snagging jobs to do, lots of bits and bobs, a few major projects. I've got to install the gas tank. I do have the gas tank, I'll give you a look at that. So that's the gas tank. It's a Gasset 30 litre tank, come with all of the fittings, regulator, filler connection. They're supplied in red. I've painted it. It's got one of the regulations that you have to comply with when you undersling these gas tanks is you have to give them a coat of paint with rubberized paint to prevent stone chipping. So I've done that to both the fixing brackets and the tank, and that'll be one of my next projects will be to install that. I've also got all of the plumbing to do, which is the installing the water pump and all of the plumbing required for the hot and cold water after the water pump, and also the plumbing for the I'm going to run a pipe, hot and cold pipe, to the back of the van, because I'm thinking of putting an outside shower just for when I go mountain biking, and that I can have a shower after I've been mountain biking. So I hope you've enjoyed that update. There will be more videos to come. I've been so busy with this, and I've been doing some paid work to fund some of this work. So I've been very busy doing jobs for other people to get money together to buy some of the stuff that I need to buy for this project. But I do want to do some more videos in the final stages of this build. So I'm going to do a video covering off on the installation of the gas tank and the plumbing, so that you can see how I do the installation of that, and hopefully by the time we get to June, I'm going to be able to start doing some trips away in this van. It might not be fully finished, and I think speaking to people and watching other people's videos and comments on Facebook groups around van conversions, they're never truly finished. You know, you get to a point where you want to start using it, and there's always going to be little bits and bobs that don't get finished, and you finish them on the road, or you put them off till later because you're just keen to use it. So we'll see how far I get, but as you can see, it's getting pretty close. So until next time, please share this video, like this video. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and click the little bell icon so that you get notifications when I upload new videos. And as always, I welcome your comments. So please place your comments below, and I always respond to all comments. And I'll see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye.